And live, assistant coach Chris Burgess joining us here tonight. Coach Burgess, come in, please. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing very well. It looks like he's over in the annex, right in the main lobby area.
Burge, we got to turn off the basketball lights, man. We can't see your beautiful face. They're just the logo behind you.
He's well backlit.
Oh,
there you go.
Better.
There you go. Coach Burgess, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. First up, let's get right to this. The staff evolution in year two. Does year two feel any different as a group together than the rookie season?
Great question. So I've obviously been working with Coach Vieger, Coach Bobby, and Coach Pope 6 years now, and then adding Coach Robinson. Working with him now a year and a half. I feel like we're about the same as last year. We're just growing as a staff. We're understanding each other more and more. I think we've added 2 new GAs. Keegan's been with another year, but I would say the evolution is growing as we're getting better, and we're learning each other every single day, even though we've been around each other anywhere from 2 to 6 years.
How about Coach Pope from year 1 to year 6 as a colleague?
Great boss to work with. He's always trying to push us, right, as assistants. He's always trying to make us better and put things on our desk that's going to make us feel overwhelmed. So we're always trying to get better so that we can grow as a team. This off season, especially during COVID, he really challenged us to kind of come up with new ideas on offense side of the ball and the defense side of the ball. So it was a great challenge, and we studied a lot of different teams that are great. Let's just say, for example, Texas Tech, right? They're really good defensively, and they force sideline, baseline all game long. And so we did a deep dive and a study into them as assistants, and then we came back and kind of presented it to coach. And this year we've actually implemented some of the stuff that they do as far as to keep the ball on the sideline as much as you can, keep the ball out of the middle. And so that was a way we tried to grow this offseason with the personnel we knew we had coming in.
We're going to throw up the Coach Pope versus Coach Burgess side by side here. Mark, we'll have you weigh in on this one. Back in the heyday, college prime days, who's winning this particular one-on-one battle, do you think, between these two dominant bigs?
Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, Coach Burgess was the number one recruited athlete out of all of high school basketball. I was just a schmuck down the street.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Obviously, we didn't really pass the ball very much. We were looking for ourselves and just 1.8 assists, but we knew when we got in the game, we knew our jobs, and it looks like we had a similar production out there. But the main thing I think is Coach Pope's probably going to win. So he's got a national championship, and I got a runner-up.
Well, no, there's one reason I'm going to win, and that's because, Burge knows this. So, on rare occasion, I get myself in trouble in practice, and so I actually have to run. I have to run sprints. And so on one given day, I had to run a sprint, and one of my assistants has got himself in trouble, and so we both had to run a sprint together. And clearly, in a million years, there's no way I can win the sprint. But that particular assistant, which was not Coach Burgess, because Coach Burgess never gets himself in trouble, that particular assistant just kind of came up with a hammy at the end of the sprint so I could win and so that he could retain his job. It was magical.
Yeah. What are the kind of things, Coach Burgess, what are the kind of things that might get Coach Pope in trouble in practice?
I don't know.
Celtic rules, Celtic rules, baby.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. You'll have to ask Coach.
So you know how Coach Burgess kind of started through when you asked about what about Coach Pope's progression? Yeah. And so that's the thing with year 2 of the program, because all the assistants are at the point now where they're like, if we could just get this dude out of the way, we would function so much better. It actually happens on every successful staff. That's the way it happens. And the other frustration that coaches have is they do all this legwork during the summer, and then Coach Burgess knows this intimately. Like, I'm pretty resistant to wholesale change, and so these guys have to come in and fight every single day to kind of make changes. And Burge has been unbelievable. One of the things that he gifts me with as a head coach is, these guys do all this legwork on scouts, on our personnel development, on our offensive and defensive schemes, on our recruiting. And it's really a gift to have a coach like Coach Burgess that's so competent that he'll stand his ground when we have a conversation. When I start asking him questions and challenging him, he'll be like, no, coach, trust me, this is exactly the way we need to go with this. And I know he's thoroughly done his homework and done deep dives. And most often it turns out to be the right answer. And that's a real gift. It's one of the many, many contributions he makes to the staff.
Coach Burgess, maybe 20 quick seconds on the development of the bigs that BYU's seen this year.
Well, I knew we were getting to this coming season with Richard Harward, Matt Harms, Scobie Lee, Caleb Lohner. So I think they've done a good job of, ducking in, sealing their guy, attacking the glass on both sides of the floor, being patient in the post, trusting the pass out. It's been fun watching their development. We recruited Matt Harms, showing him his numbers at Purdue. And if you look at his numbers right now from an analytical standpoint, everything we kind of talked about him, whether ball screen roll, in the post, they've all gone up. There's still games to be played, so that it makes you feel good as a coach that you're backing up what you recruited him, right, with the things you told him on his recruiting visit, how it will help his game. Been super proud of those guys, just with their physicality and their ruggedness, game to game, and they love playing. Like, even though Matt and Richard kind of sub for each other, they're each other's biggest fans, right? They're coaching it up. I had Richard in my office today talking about, I need you to lift Matt today in practice. I want you to focus on lifting Matt today to be more physical. Right, to demand the ball in the post, right? If you see something, say something to them, right? We need you to lift them up, and that's what you get with older veteran guys, where Richard's coming off the bench for him, but he's Matt's biggest fan, right? And the same, I can say the same for Matt picking up Caleb every day, and the same for Big Kolb, right? And so I'm very blessed to be able to have such a unique group, big group, and they sometimes, most of the time, make me look better than I am. But I love coaching them. I love the energy they bring every single day, and they have a ton of room to grow as well.
Coach Burgess, thank you so much for the contributions tonight on this show and with the staff, and we'll see you in Stockton.
Absolutely, we'll see you, Rubes.
All right,
Good job,
thanks a lot.
Burge.
That's Chris Burgess.